With the biggest story of the day, and that is the news that DeWanna Bonner is no longer with the Indiana Fever. It was reported last night that DeWanna Bonner had no intentions on returning to the Indiana Fever, and then the news broke today that the Indiana Fever had indeed.
DeWanna Bonner believed she could simply give up on the Indiana Fever and waltz in any squad she wanted, but reality just hit. Similar to a freight train, teams from every she won't be handled by the WNBA with a 10-foot pole after seeing how she abandoned her teammates in the middle of the season. The karma is currently hitting in a different manner. Do you think DeWanna Bonner ought to be rival teams' blacklist following what
did she?
People, we're seeing one of the most satisfying examples of immediate karma in the history of the WNBA today.
DeWanna
Bonner decided that she might just give up on. Caitlin was left behind by the Indiana Fever mid-season, Clark and her colleagues, and I instinctively assumed that teams would be lining up to sign her. But guess what? Reality just offered her a cold serving of consequences, and it's entirely delicious to watch.
Statement. She said, "I want to sincerely thank the Indiana Fever for the opportunity to be part of the Fever franchise. Despite our shared goals and excitement heading into the season, I felt the fit did not work out, and I appreciate the organization's willingness to grant my request to move on, particularly at this point in my career. I wish the Fever great success as they continue to build around this dynamic group of young players."
This is what's going on that completes this. Even more humiliating for Bonner. She has received a waive from the Fever. It suggests that any team in the league might. If you claim her off waivers, she would get her full compensation, $200,000 in total.
If another team claims her off the waivers, she gets her full salary. She gets her full salary if another team claims her off the waivers.
Level experience, right?
False.
That is a significant amount of money, all through the WNBA. Additionally, it makes likely that teams would be drawn to an experienced athlete with
championship.
It makes DeWanna Bonner look really, really bad. It makes DB look really, really bad. And it's the fact that she has told all other teams, other than the Mercury, don't sign her.
Bonner has allegedly informed each and every team in the league, save for the Phoenix Mercury, even make an effort to sign her.
She's
acting as if she were a free agent who has the authority to decide when she's genuinely damaged goods that nobody wants. She's acting like Ben, sitting outside, Simmons insisted on. Only visit one particular team while ignoring the realities that she faces. Agreement. The total bluster of this. The woman is incredible. She signs using Indiana, embezzles their money, and keeps all the benefits of having a connection to the largest story in women's basketball. Positions for Sports Illustrated covers. Plays in front of crowds that are sold out, and when things don't go as planned, she just gives up. And now she considers she is able to dictate words to the whole league about her forthcoming match.
And look, I understand that's where she wants to go. Why didn't she go there in the summer? We know why, because she couldn't have got her max contract. And by the way, people are like, oh, they can give her the minimum. No, they can't. The Phoenix Mercury can give her a prorated $80,000 salary for the rest of the year. So she's only going to lose about 30K-ish. And she's going to lose about 40, 50K. Whereas they would have been only able to sign her earlier on. Well, they would only be able to sign her for nothing. Because again, we can't forget as well, the Phoenix Mercury cut Sev Usen. The Phoenix Mercury have a bunch of players signed on hardships and a bunch of players that they can cut. Like they literally cap space magicked up. And as soon as cap space magics up for the India or for the Phoenix Mercury.
However, this is where things really get. For Bonner, it was embarrassing. The Phoenix Mercury is the one team she really wants to participate, apparently aren't even certain they don't want her anymore.
Think about that.
For a short while, she demolished bridges using Indiana, in particular, to push her way to Phoenix. Phoenix is now staring at this situation, pondering, do we really wish for someone to depart from their group when things are difficult? The Mercury are currently having fun while playing with their young core of role players who have purchased, getting into their system. They're winning games with athletes who genuinely wish to be there, who won't leave the team when things don't go as planned. Their style. Why would they want to disrupt such chemistry for a person who just shows how untrustworthy she is? Let's talk about
Concerning the business aspect of this.
catastrophe. If a different group had claimed, Bonner would have, if she had waivers, received her entire salary of $200,000. However, since she's adamant about only going to Phoenix, she'll probably end up enrolling in a minimal prorated program for veterans, around $80,000. She is essentially hurting herself. $100,000 because she thinks she can control where she plays once she gives up on her group. The fact that each other team in the league is staying away from. She explains all you need to understand how this circumstance is being observed around the league. GMs and coaches are investigating Bonner's behavior and debating whether to abandon Indiana when she is most required. What can be done? Preventing her from leaving us? That isn't the kind of reputation you'd like to have in a league with just 144 roster spots. The whole situation makes Bonner seem incredibly conceited and narrow-minded. She was adamant about playing for Phoenix, therefore. Awful. Why didn't she simply sign with them at first during free agency? Everyone knew that the Mercury were intrigued by her. Everyone knew that she had a relationship with Alyssa Thomas. Everyone knew that she wanted to be, but she decided on the cash and highlight that appeared after logging in. Instead, Indiana. Right now, she's trying to have it both ways. Take Indiana's money and exposure, then force her to Phoenix whenever she feels like it. That's not how professional sports work, because it's definitely not how you build trust among coworkers and organizations. The most harmful feature is how this affects Caitlin Clark and the other young participants in the Fever. These athletes admired Bonner as a seasoned leader, someone who was supposed to be their mentor, through the strain of participating in the most watched team in the league. Instead, she showed them that when things become challenging, you can just quit up and
Go.
Leadership is not like that. That's abandonment. Specifically, Clark was ecstatic about enjoying themselves with Bonner. It was apparent considering the amount of effort Clark put in building a relationship with her. For the first time in her career, Clark is essentially been told by someone she admired their refusal to play next to her. That must be painful. Furthermore, it perhaps explains some of Clark's recent conflicts on the court. Butler, Jimmy. Comparisons are the best since what? Butler's activities in Philadelphia were widely condemned for lacking professionalism and damaging to the team's culture. The difference, at least Butler was still at the top player when he forced his exit. Bonner, 36, is clearly on the decline, yet she's acting as if she has leverage comparable to that of a superstar. Next, Simmons is yet another ideal analogy, considering he sat out as well and insisted on a trade while the agreement is still in force. The distinction is that Simmons was younger and probably had greater value. Bonner is nearing the end of her career and just showed every team in the league that she is ready to give up if things don't work out. Give it to her. What makes this even more? How absurd are Bonner's grievances about her role in Indiana appeared to completely overstated. She was a starter. She was accumulating significant minutes.
She
was contributing significantly to the offensive. Yes, the group's performance was not as good as expected, but that doesn't imply that in the middle of the season, abandon your teammates. The fact that she counsels groups against Claim her off waivers shows how. She's grown entitled. She thinks she may command the entire procedure, terms to the league, and force her to the exact place she wants without any repercussions. Well, the consequences are there, and they're not appealing. Teams. Essentially, the league is handling. It appears that Bonner is suffering from the plague.
Right now.
No general manager wants to be the one who presents a player who only demonstrates. She will quit her team when things become difficult, challenging. That is detrimental to the group culture and conveys a negative message to other members of the team. The Mercury's choice to pause is particularly instructive because she genuinely wants to join one team. Should even they are reevaluating regarding bringing in someone who coerced their flight from their previous circumstance, which demonstrates how terrible this seems from the outside. Furthermore, Phoenix is in a fantastic circumstance at the moment with the roster's current construction. They've young sportsmen who are contributing and taking up their approach. Why would they want to potentially obstruct that for a 36-year-old who recently abandoned her prior group? There is no logic to basketball or cultural sensitivity. The monetary component makes this even more humiliating for Bonner. She is going to lose a lot money as a result of her choice to her departure. Instead of showing her respect, contract, and getting paid in full, most likely she will make half of what she anticipated earning this season. The moment she left makes things worse as well. Yes, this actually happened. Caitlin Clark was coming back from injury right when the team needed the most seasoned leadership. Instead of stepping up and helping the group through in a trying moment, Bonner made the decision to create more drama and mayhem. The media's unwillingness to hold Bonner accountable for this. The choice is equally annoying but predictable. The WNBA media typically shields players even when they clearly wrong decisions. However, fans aren't purchasing it. They are able to interpret this situation as it's an experienced player forsaking her team due to self-interest. This sets a horrible precedent for the league. If players decide to simply quit mid-season and advance to their recommended site without real consequences, why would anyone show respect? Their contracts? Why would organizations invest in building culture and chemistry if players are able to leave at any time? What? Bonner's legacy will be irreversibly harmed by this decision. Instead of being remembered as a solid warrior who contributed to a number of teams during her career, she's going to be recognized as the player who gave up about the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark when she was most required. The fact that she is essentially waiting for one while under contract, a particular club exhibits a complete contempt for professionalism. She appears to be more than the league, more than. Contracts are more important than commitments. That's not how professional sports work. It's definitely not how you maintain respect across the league. The silence from other seasoned athletes is also telling. Typically, when a player receives unfairly handled by a company, other players raise their voices in support. That nobody is defending Bonner's. The perception of a decision is revealed by her coworkers. Teams are most likely also concerned about signing the message Bonner would send their current players. If you provide someone with a trophy for, what does their departure from the team mean? Tell your own players how committed you are. Acknowledge it's a terrible priority to establish. Furthermore, the Mercury must cut another player to create space for Bonner, which entails disrupting someone's present roster composition. She just demonstrated her untrustworthiness. That's a great deal of danger with less payoff, especially in light of Bonner's age and declining production. The situation is a masterclass in how not